You probably took a shower today without thinking about it. Maybe it happened in the morning, when you were half asleep and your brain was trying to remember how to be a person. Maybe it happened at night, after one of those days where your skin felt tired and your whole body seemed to ask for hot water before continuing with life. So you walked into a bathroom, turned a handle, and water started falling out of the wall. That is such a normal part of modern life that it barely feels impressive anymore. The water is warm, the soap is nearby, and a drain removes the evidence that you spent the day being a sweaty little mammal with responsibilities. Then, after 10 minutes, something strange happens. You step out feeling like a slightly better version of yourself. Your problems are still there, and tomorrow is already waiting in the background, but your body feels reset, and for a moment, it is enough. Now imagine living in a world where that reset button simply did not exist. If your hair smelled like smoke or your skin carried dust from the day, you could not disappear into a warm bathroom and come back out feeling like the old version of you had been deleted. You had to live much closer to the world. Fire, sweat, animals, and earth could follow you around because that was ordinary life. And this is where the question becomes strange. Ancient humans did not survive without showers for a few unlucky days. They survived without them for thousands of years. They hunted, cooked, slept, raised children, made tools, and somehow kept being fully human without the thing many modern people now use to feel acceptable before leaving the house. So maybe the real question is not just how ancient humans stayed clean. Maybe it is how they lived in a world where clean meant something completely different. Because for us, a shower is not only about washing the body, it has become emotional. It is privacy, routine, and one of the few places where nobody expects you to answer anything. Sometimes it is the only part of the day where you can stand still and let your mind wander. We wash off sweat, but we also wash off the feeling of being handled by the day. Ancient humans did not have that same ritual waiting for them. Their bodies belonged to the landscape. Smoke lived in hair, dirt got under nails, skin met sun, rain, insects, and the ground far more directly than most of us ever experience now. But that does not mean they were walking around like abandoned swamp monsters. That is the mistake we usually make when we picture the past. We remove the modern bathroom from history, and our brain immediately turns everyone into a filthy cartoon. But humans have always cared about comfort. They noticed when skin felt sticky, when hair became annoying, and when a smell felt wrong in a way that made the body pay attention. A person from the deep past may not have cared about smelling like a modern shampoo commercial, but they understood the difference between ordinary body smell and something dangerous, infected, or unhealthy. For most of human history, washing depended on the place where you lived. If water was nearby, people used it. A river, a spring, a lake, or even rain could become part of how the body returned to comfort. Sometimes, it may have been as simple as rinsing hands, splashing the face, or getting into water when the weather made it possible. And when water alone was not enough, people found other ways. This is where ancient hygiene starts to feel more human than we expect. People used sand, clay, ash, oils, and plant materials because they were trying to solve the same annoying problem we still solve every day. The body gets sweaty. The body collects grime. The body starts feeling unpleasant, and eventually you want to do something about it. The Roman world shows how seriously people could take this. Roman public baths were not showers in the modern sense. They were places where people washed, relaxed, talked, and made connections. A Roman might rub oil onto the skin and then scrape it away with a curved tool called a strigil. To a modern person, that sounds like skincare invented by someone who lost a bet, but the basic idea makes sense. The oil helped lift dirt and sweat, and scraping it away left the skin cleaner. Humans did not suddenly start caring about cleanliness when plumbing arrived. Plumbing just made one version of cleanliness much easier. Before that, cleanliness was tied to rhythm, place, and community. Some people bathed often because their culture and environment made it possible. Others cleaned the parts of the body that needed it most. Cleanliness could even become a sign of status because easy access to water, fuel, oil, and clean cloth quietly told people something about your life. Modern hygiene is partly about health, but it is also about belonging. You can be perfectly safe and still feel embarrassed if your hair looks greasy. A body is not just a body in public. It becomes a message, and every society teaches people what that message is supposed to say. Ancient societies had messages too, but they were written in a different language. If you lived close to fire every day, smelling like smoke probably did not mean you had failed as a person. It might have meant warmth, food, protection, and home. If your work involved soil, animals, leather, or grain, then the smell of labor was part of ordinary life. People were not expecting every human body to smell like a hotel lobby that had been attacked by lavender. Still, Ancient humans were not careless. In some ways, they had to pay more attention than we do. A shower makes cleanliness feel personal. You go into a room alone, you wash your body, and you come out feeling fixed. But for ancient people, survival depended on the whole environment. It mattered where waste went, whether drinking water stayed clean, and whether food was stored safely. The body could survive without a hot shower, but it could not easily survive a camp or village that turned into a disease machine. So ancient hygiene was often less about smelling perfect and more about staying alive. People cleaned teeth with chew sticks or rough cloth. They combed hair because pests were not just cosmetic problems. They used smoke, plants and oils because the body is always negotiating with tiny things that want to bite it, infect it, or make it miserable. And underneath all of that was the same ancient instinct you still feel when you finally shower after a long day. The body wants relief. It wants the sticky feeling to stop. It wants the skin to feel like it belongs to you again. That desire did not begin with chrome faucets and shampoo bottles. The shower just gave that desire a beautiful little machine. Modern life may have made that machine feel even more necessary by making our relationship with the body more awkward. Most of us spend our days inside controlled spaces, close to other people, in rooms where everyone has been trained to smell like almost nothing. In that world, even a little body odor can feel like a social emergency because the raw evidence of being human is not supposed to leak into the room. Ancient humans did not live inside that kind of invisible rule book. Their bodies were allowed to be more obvious because the whole world was more obvious. Weather touched them directly, work marked them physically. A human body was not expected to behave like a freshly updated phone with skin. That does not mean life was better. Ancient life was hard in ways that are easy to romanticize from a bathroom with working plumbing. Dirt could carry danger. Bad water could kill. Infection could turn a small wound into a serious problem. But it also was not just endless filth. It was a different relationship with the body. Ancient humans survived without showers because they understood cleanliness through contact with the world, not escape from it. They washed when they could. They scraped, rinsed, combed, rubbed, and used whatever their environment gave them. They learned which smells were normal, which ones meant sickness, and which habits helped a group keep living together without everything falling apart. When hot water falls out of your wall, you are using one of the most ordinary miracles in modern life. You are taking an ancient human desire and giving it a perfect little room. The need to feel comfortable in your own skin is older than cities, older than plumbing, older than the idea that a person should smell like coconut and fresh linen before answering emails. So how did ancient humans survive without showers? They survived because showers are not what made us care about being clean. They only changed what clean looked like. Ancient humans had rivers, rain, oil, smoke, clay, habit, ritual, and a strong motivation not to let their bodies become unbearable. We have hot water, drains, soap, and that quiet escape where the modern world finally stops asking us for things. And the next time you step into a shower after a long day, it might be worth remembering that you are not just washing off sweat. You are doing something humans have always tried to do in one form or another. You are drawing a small line between yourself and the chaos outside your skin, and for a few warm minutes, you get to feel like the day can be rinsed away.